will not run any program which is not approved by it, and AICTE doesn't approve a science program. This is because AICTE doesn't interact with UGC or any other statutory agencies. So when an enthusiastic engineering college fellow who is committed to technical education comes forward and says that, sir, we want to run an MSc program or a BSc program in our institution, state government is ready to sanction the college or the program, but AICTE doesn't permit. AICTE says that it shall run only the programs approved by it. So such funny policies are there, and the remedy lies if these statutory bodies sit together and discuss. Now, restructuring of post-school science programs. Maybe I think someone has referred to that yesterday or today. The 3 academies of sciences in 2008, they came out with a position paper. The title of the paper is How to Restructure Post-School Science Teaching Programs in the Country. All the 3 academies. Professor Balasubramanian is also one of the authors there. Now, excellent recommendations have been made. The recommendations clearly say that in the present undergraduate science education, there is clear segregation of students into 2 groups, biology group, maths group. BZC students are MPC students. This is not at all recommended these days. These are the days where at the undergraduate level, the student needs to learn all the basic science subjects. This is what has been recommended by this position paper. The academics recommend that at the undergraduate level, there shall be a general basic science education given to the student. A student needs to learn mathematics, physics, chemistry, and biology. Now, the second suggestion which was made is that in various undergraduate colleges these days, specialized subjects like biotechnology, bioinformatics, computer science, information technology are being offered as substitutes to basic sciences like physics, mathematics, and biology. This shall have to be dispensed with. These specialized programs cannot be offered at the undergraduate level. What is required is the student must learn the basic sciences first. As Dr. Mohan Rao was pointing out, the academies also proposed a 4-year BS program, 4-year science program. And mobility of students from the science stream to technical education. This has been proposed. In the State Council of Higher Education, I was also one of the members who recommended in 2006 or 7 a 4-year undergraduate program. But what happened? There's a lot of resistance. From the teaching community and from the student community. But that should not deter us in going ahead with recommendations. We need to look at these recommendations much more closely. Now in Andhra Pradesh, a funny situation is that the +2 education is totally segregated. It is neither under school education nor under higher education. What is happening at the +2 level is that there is more segregation of students into maths group and then biology group. After 10th class, if suppose that student joins a BPC stream intermediate, he will never learn mathematics. And similarly, an MPC student in intermediate never learns biology at all. And this situation is a very strange situation. This has to change. This has to change. Now, if you look at the school education, what is happening at the school education? Because I talked about the policy issues, and then the first thing is the school education. Now, in school education, we have the main problem of science being taught as history or languages. Only facts are given. And how honest the teacher is giving the facts. Many teachers do not have the right idea of the concepts. They don't know at all. I'm extremely sorry to say that. So teaching wrong concepts at that level is much more dangerous than teaching no science at all. So what our friends from Jana Vijnana Medika are doing is highly commendable. They are doing their best, giving at least the right concepts to the teachers. So it is school education which matters a lot in making science more interesting or enhancing the interest in science programs. So everything depends upon the school teacher. But unfortunately, what is happening, if you look at the colleges where we produce school teachers, they're called the B.Ed colleges. They are in an awful situation because these are the colleges where teachers are prepared who influence the learning process of students and ultimately the future of the country. I don't know whether some of the people sitting here know that it has come to the notice of the Honorable Supreme Court last year. What is happening in the school education training institutions? Honorable Supreme Court has appointed a committee headed by the former Chief Justice of India, J.S. Verma. The Verma committee made a thorough analysis of the school education institutions, that is the B.Ed offering institutions, submitted a report to the Supreme Court somewhere in August 2012. Now, the committee report is, really says that at what stage the school education institutions are. It suggests that several repairs have to be made, both financially and qualitatively, for these teacher education training programs. They have suggested that the period of teacher education must be enhanced. Now it is only 1 year. You make it at least 2 years. And the most important, I was very fascinated by the recommendation made by the Verma committee, is that every teacher education institutions must have a dedicated school attached to it as a laboratory. Just as a medical college is associated with a dispensary or a hospital. Because it is in this laboratory the would-be teachers would be making their experiments, conducting their experiments in pedagogy. But who will listen to those Verma committee reports? Report is there. But this is the thing that I told you, it is for the national level bodies to come together and then discuss. NCTE's business is this, National Council of Teacher Education. National Curriculum Framework also made several suggestions. At least from the State Council of Higher Education, we have taken initiative 3 months ago to remodel, reform, revise the B.Ed curriculum. And we are coming out with a revised B.Ed curriculum in 1 week's time. That will be sent to the universities for their acceptance. It is very alarming. I think you must have noticed in the newspapers also. If you look at the newspapers, CBSE has conducted this entrance test. It's called Central Teacher Eligibility Test. Last December, the results were out in January, that is just 2 months ago. If you look at the results, I think it is shameful. More than 99% of these B.Ed graduates who have appeared for the test failed to clear it. The result is only less than 1%. So, this is the situation of the teacher training institutes. How do you expect the school education to improve? So the remedy lies, therefore, is rightly pointed out by others, the remedy lies in, first of all, making school education more effective, and then the school education institutions more effective. That is the thing. Now if you come to our +2 education, in our state the +2 education, +2 science education is a pressure cooker education. The students are always under pressure. Pressure from the peers, pressure from the teachers, pressure from the college administration, and more pressure from the parents. High expectations on our students. So what is happening as a result of this? What is that the students are learning at the +2 level? The students are learning two things. One is, what is rote learning? Batti kottadam etla. The other thing is tick box culture. How to answer the objective questions by putting a tick. Now, this has been there over the years. You may ask me, sir, what are you doing sitting there? Okay, that's a different situation. Now the thing here is, what is the consequence of this culture? Consequence is that they are cracking these entrance examinations no problem. And our students are getting more seats in IITs, are going to be any other national level examinations. We made a study of how these fellows are faring in IITs. The first year, second year, third year, and the results are really disturbing. They are not able to comprehend the IIT education because they have been trained like that. They have been trained only to give answers to the questions. But what IIT education requires is, you need to question the answer. And that is not there here. That is what is happening. Now when you come to college education or university education, I'll conclude in 5 minutes, not more than that. College education or university education. I am from the university, I retired 2 years ago. Now we are all complacent with whatever we are and whatever we are getting. We are not accountable. We enjoy a lot of autonomy in universities. We don't like anybody interfering in affairs. But we are very sorry to say that we don't perform our discipline, our duties with self-discipline. Self-discipline is very important. At the university level, you don't like to be disciplined by others. You need to be self-disciplined. That is lacking. So unless this situation improves, what is that you can do? Lab work is taken very, very casually. Very casually. We are not available to the students. So this situation has to improve. How do you make science more interesting unless you are available in the laboratory? So every time, Dr. Mohan Rao was rightly pointing out, one point is very clear. Every time we blame for our failures someone else. I mean, that situation has to change now. We need to blame for our failures ourselves. think what we are doing first, then you think of the other fellow. And we are masters in analyzing others rather than analyzing ourselves. So this is the main problem there. So the remedy lies, because the theme of this is that the remedy lies that at the college level, at the university level, we need to become more accountable. And accountability cannot be taught by others. Accountability is to be self-felt. That should be the case. Now there is also this word of research is there. I'll just about 2-3 minutes I'll take. We all agree that India's large population has not been able to translate into a large pool of scientists. There are several reasons for that. One of the main reasons, I was interacting with Dr. Mohan Rao, is the funding. The funding for research is inadequate. It is less than 1% of the GDP that the government allocates for R&D institutions. And industry giving anything to R&D is very meager. Industry gives about 25% of the R&D expenditure in our country, which is the other way in other countries. Industry always wants that you supply from the education institutions a finished product. A finished product. They don't want to spend anything on the student. You supply a finished product, we will give you employment. But universities or colleges are not supposed to do all these things. We cannot cater to the needs of each individual industry. It is for the industry to polish them. But our industry in India is reluctant to do that. Now in universities, teaching and research have to go together. They are in fact conjoined twins which defy any separation. And what is happening? Research is mainly carried out in laboratories like this, the central government laboratories. In universities, main focus is on teaching. There could be many reasons for that. Despite the central government givings are coming forward with several schemes, the state universities, the research is not picking up. But one thing, whether Dr. Mohan Rao or anybody sitting here from the central laboratories agree or not, I am of the opinion that the scientists from the central laboratories are not interacting with the university to the desired level. You agree or not, sir, you agree or not, I leave it to you, but I would expect, I would request in fact, that the central laboratories need to interact more with the university. It is extremely important. They need to motivate the young teachers, the young scholars doing some research work there. That would have a different effect. The another thing I would request the distinguished scientists from the central laboratories is they need to interact with young children in the school level, in the government schools. It is not enough that you celebrate open days in CCMB and IICT. No. That is a different thing. But some of the brilliant scientists like Mohan Rao or Dr. Shastri is sitting here, they need to go. They have to chalk out a program. They need to go to the schools. Talk to the people. Talk to the people in the language they know. That is very important. In the language they know. Show them the biography of some of the great scientists, how they have come up, what are their achievements, what is happening there. Probably this would have some impact. apart from other things that they are doing. So what ultimately I feel is that there has to be concerted efforts and also coordinated efforts which need to be made so that the quality of science education, in particular, quality of education in general will improve. Because we have a lot of potential in us. The only thing is that we need to work to our potential, and that we are not doing. We could do it if we all join hands, and that is possible. But ultimately, I would like to conclude by saying, we are responsible for what we are. This is what one of our greatest thinkers and philosophers, Swami Vivekananda, said. I quote, "We are responsible for what we are, and whatever we wish ourselves to be, we have the power to make ourselves." So we have the potential. If we need to work, if we determine to work, certainly we can move forward and then make Andhra Pradesh a hub for scientific activity. I must congratulate again Reddy and others, particularly Dr. Mohan Rao, for arranging this interaction for 2 days. I wish that we continue such interactions in the coming days, and whatever little help that the Academy wants from our side, as long as I am there, sir, I will certainly extend all the help to you. And I thank you all for giving me